Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled, the TV podcast here in Mild Fuzz Network. I'm Peter Bradley, and joining me as always is Connor Ryan.
Hey guys.
Now, we review a bunch of shows every week, and it's worth mentioning that if you're on the audio version, we went long in a few of them this week. So the audio version is actually going to be split over two parts. If you're on YouTube, this does not affect you, it does not matter. You just click in the information box in the corner to see the reviews and the playlist like you always do. People in the audio version, just be aware that there's going to be two parts to this week's show. But those TV shows that we did review this week include HBO's new show, The Night Of. They put out the first episode a few weeks early, so we covered that. We have Dead of Summer, which is the new summer slasher TV show from Freeform. We have the pilot, or the first episode of Roadies from Showtime. We also have the first episode of Season 2 of Killjoys. A lot of new stuff this week. We also have the new episodes of Brain Dead, Preacher, and the season finale of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones being one of the main culprits of the runtime going a bit over.
To be fair, The Night Of gave it a good run for its money.
Who's Toby Fair?
Shut up.
It's just the way you said it. You rolled them into one word. So it just
I
sounded
did.
Like,
It kind of just...
It sounded like Toby
It
Fair.
got a bit stuck on my tongue, but yeah. It's weird that there's more new stuff than not new stuff this week.
It is. You might notice that Outcast is not in that list. That's because about 20 minutes ago I discovered that there is no Outcast this week. So part of the 4th of July also means there'll be no Brain Dead next week. So there'll be a couple of gaps in terms of the seasons right now. But not to worry, we had lots of new stuff to make up for it, so it doesn't really matter. So that's all the reviews coming up later in the audio version over both parts, and obviously clicking the link in the corner, the more information box for the playlist, or just go to the channel page on YouTube and you can see all the reviews and click on what you want. But that's the reviews. So of course though, we have to talk about the news.
It's always fun.
We always start with the news. We talk about TV news and things that happen on the world of television and things. One thing I didn't put in the news, I just want to briefly mention it, is that Lionsgate bought Stars for like $4.4 billion this week.
Was it really worth it? I mean, how much good stuff do Stars really put out?
Well, you could look at it that way, or you could look at it as now Lionsgate have their own like cable
That's
network.
a good point. Now we might actually get something from it that's worth watching.
Hold your tongue. Ash vs Evil Dead is phenomenal.
One thing.
You
You
filthy
named one
ginger. You filthy ginger heathen.
You know, one day I'll watch episode 2.
Respect the chin. That's all I'm saying. Respect the chin. You filthy casual. Alright. So on to the proper news, because we don't really have much to say about Lionsgate buying Stars other than maybe the budgets on the shows will go up a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to
Maybe.
wait and see, won't we?
But anyway, so as for actual news, first up, Preacher has officially been renewed for a second season at AMC. The second season will air in 2017 and has been bumped up to 13 episodes. Season 1, of course, is 10 episodes.
I'm all for this. I mean, it's going good. Makes sense. I couldn't see a reason why they wouldn't give it a second season at this point anyway.
Nah, it's been getting good ratings for them. I think it's number 2 on the cable networks right now. I don't know if that's specifically for new shows or just number 2 in cable networks in general, but they seem to be happy with the numbers, and yeah, there's not really much to say except good news. Bigger season 2. Cool.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah. It's also nice to know before the season ends that you're getting another one. Like it's not you have that comfort feeling of like, I'm not panicking when it ends if there's a cliffhanger. Like, no, like
Yeah, it's even on shows that you feel are safe. It's always a little nagging
I mean,
thing in the
how
back.
nervous were we at the end of Supergirl this year?
Cannot describe the fear that we felt.
Nerves were racking. That's all I'm saying. Nerves were racking.
Yeah, they've really pushed it on that.
All right. Next up, speaking of superheroes, The Flash has got a new season regular for next year. Tom Felton, who you may know as Malfoy from the Harry Potter movies, has been cast. He's going to play a CSI, much like what Barry does, the Central City Police Department, named Julian Dorn, who apparently will suspect that there's more to Barry than his good guy reputation suggests. So basically, he's got a co-worker who's going to think, wait a minute,
I,
he's up
w-
to
I
something.
wonder if this will be a CSI who actually does his job. Because we never see Barry do his job. Like, I think we've seen like 3 times in the 2 seasons.
That's true. But he does everything super fast, so I can just buy that he does it. We just don't see it.
This is true, but you'd think he has to go to the crime scene still.
I'm sure he still does. We're not. It's not real time. It's not 24. We don't see it every minute.
I know, but it would be nice to see it a little bit more often.
If it's not relevant to what's going on, don't need to
Just make it relevant.
bog it down. But maybe since we've got a new CSI character, we might get a lot more of that. I'm going to call it now. I won't spoil the previous seasons, but I'm just going to guess that this guy is going to turn out to be a villain by the end of the season.
Wouldn't be surprising, really. My only thing is, kind of seems a bit obvious with who they've cast. It's like, would they really make him the villain? Because it would just be a bit too obvious.
I think they would make him a villain because
I can't speak tonight, clearly.
uh, I don't think that has any. I don't think that has particular bearing on it. Maybe that is the red herring here. Maybe they're actually putting
They're
some.
swerving away from it by making it seem obvious.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that thought goes into the actual casting phase. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I don't know. We'll see. We have no idea what the character's actually going to be like until we see the show, really. Other than because it doesn't even mention like, does he get on with Barry? Is he like someone who's constantly suspicious of him, or is he friends with him but is also suspicious? Like it doesn't really give you that.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing. I'm sure we'll see fairly quickly, though.
Yeah, so that's not, and is I specifically made a point of mentioning he's a series regular. He's not just a guest star, so he's going to
Yeah,
be there.
well, they need to bring back Patty.
Pie, I'll be back.
Well, they need to bring her back, make her series regular, and just get it done with and make me happy.
In fact, given how, and I won't spoil it, but given how the last season ended, she may just appear.
She might, and she had better.
It's all fine though. She's just there to be killed at some point, so we can have
Shut up.
Barry and Iris
Shut up.
falling madly in love,
Shut up.
as it should be.
Shut up.
Patty's just a stepping stone.
She's better than Iris, and you know it.
Maybe on the show, but in general, no.
I'm strictly keeping this to the show.
All right, so that's that. So we've got some casting for Flash season 3, and last up this week in the news. Yeah, it's a fairly light news week compared to last week. Netflix has officially ordered a 10-episode season of Lost in Space. There was news a couple of months ago about this possibly happening. Netflix were considering it and it was being developed, but they've officially ordered 10 episodes. Of course, Lost in Space is about a family who gets, well, lost in space.
That's what it says on the tin, basically.
It is. It's very straight to the point. I've never seen the old show. I understand it was probably quite cheesy because I think it was in the 60s, I want to say. And I can't, there's people who have nostalgia for it, but I never hear people talk about it as if like it didn't. It's not like Star Trek where it has this legacy and people look at it and goes, "Oh, it did all these things first."
Yeah, even Doctor Who's from that time period. It's
Yeah.
like yeah, they've endured beyond just nostalgia.
Yeah. But I have seen the movie from I believe 1999, which was pretty bad. You had Matt LeBlanc in it, and you had.
I can't say I ever put myself through this.
Well, I was a kid at the time. It seemed fine.
And it was
tonight.
bad even as a kid.
I didn't hate it when I was a kid. It wasn't. I seen it again when I was like in my late teens, and was like, oh dear, what was this? But hey, as far as the show goes, though, I'm optimistic. I think you take the core concept, family get lost in space on a spaceship. I'm like, that could be really good.
Yeah, it depends how far they're willing to stray from the original stuff.
I
Like, if they
ima-
want to keep the tone to a degree.
I imagine they will. I can see. I don't think it'll have the exact same tone as this show, but I can see it being the sort of modern, updated kind of thing, kind of like Battlestar Galactica was to its original show.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I guess. I mean, I don't know. Don't really know what to judge it on, having not seen any of the other stuff.
Well, I guess you would judge it on Netflix's general output.
Which, to be fair, is pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty generally high standard. So, and as much as they have done things like Fuller House, this isn't like a continuation of the old show. This is a complete
Yeah.
modern reboot. So, I don't know. I'm hopeful. Do you know what? What occurred to me as I read this news actually is just how much potentially good science fiction TV is on the way. Because we've got Westworld, right?
Yeah.
We've got the new Star Trek. We
Yeah.
have Netflix's Stranger Things starting next month. Well, I say starting, the whole season will be the same day. But
This month.
oh yeah, it's July now. Yeah, you're right. This month, and we have Dimension 404. We have Channel Zero coming. We have season 3 of Black Mirror from Netflix, which is going to be like 10, 13 episodes instead
Oh, I
of
forgot that was coming.
the usual 3. Like, and I'm sure there's a couple more that I'm forgetting, but that's a lot of potentially good science fiction TV.
It is, isn't it?
And that's ignoring the network stuff coming this fall, like all the time travel stuff that they've got
That's
coming.
ignoring anything that's on at the minute as well. Like Sci-Fi's
Yeah.
got 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's surprisingly high amount of good stuff. What's going on? It's gonna come out of nowhere.
I'm kind of happy though. Sci-fi's.
I am too, but it's just strange. Like a few years ago, there wasn't that much,
There was
if
hardly
anything.
any. Yeah.
And now
Uh,
it's like, shit, here's a massive fuck ton of it all.
Science fiction, especially on TV, is very much my jam.
I agree.
So I even if half of these end up being good, we're
Well, statistically, some of them have got to be good.
yeah. Well, I mean the ones we've already got a taste of look good already, so it's it's positive. Good vibes, people.
Yeah.
Good TV coming. Lots of things for us to cover. Hopefully some of them are in the summer next year, so we have summer things.
That would be perfect.
Because we already have the unfortunate idea that Westworld is going to be before Christmas with all the fall TV, and Star Trek is going to be after Christmas with all the second half of all those
Oh,
seasons.
that reminds me, we got The Expanse as well.
Well, we got The Expanse, which we've not watched yet, but it looks good.
Yeah, but
planning
you,
to catch
you
up.
just reminded me that's after Christmas too, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're going to be busy.
Yeah.
It's a good thing Stream Queens will be done before then.
Yeah, no Fargo this year either.
That's right. Which is upsetting, because I want more Fargo, but
Yeah, like there's only so much we can do.
yeah, in terms of the scheduling, yeah, that's good. So that's all the news this week. So that'll take us on to all the week's TV reviews. Again, if you're on the audio podcast, they're coming up in a second. Use the timestamps. It's in 2 parts this week. So pay attention. I don't know exactly when the split will be at the time of speaking, but it will be between 2 reviews. It's not going to be a split in the middle of I'll cut it in a neat place between 2 reviews. And so just make sure you've got both parts if you want all the shows in both. And of course on YouTube, click on the more information box in the corner, go to the playlist, go to the main page of the channel, whatever suits your fancy, and just click on the reviews you want. But here's this week's TV reviews.